How about Shem Yahshai by Shem Rakakwada Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Breaking news, breaking news. Swedish armed forces will arrive in Greenland on Wednesday at the request of Denmark in order to support military and security operations on the territory and in the northern Atlantic under the recently unveiled Operation Arctic Endurance. Let me read that from the top. Sweden's Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson has announced that, so in other words, the Swedes have joined this alliance because they think the U.S. is going to do something. Like I said before, this is the stupidest move that the president could do because they don't understand. They don't understand, the prophecies. We're finding out that these Christians don't understand. Now, I don't think any Christian, well, not one Christian would say the NATO and EU nations are part of the beast, because they would have to admit that the woman that sits on top of the beast would have to be America. They would never say that Babylon in the book of Revelation is America. I'm sounding like a broken record. So they can't say Babylon is America, and they can't say NATO and the EU represent the 7 heads and 10 horns of the beast. They can't say that. You know what I'm going to do? Let me try something. So there it is. So you got France, you got Germany, you got Swedish armed forces. So they're ready to fight against America, which is the breakup of NATO and the EU. Let me just go here to let me do this. I'm going to do this here. Now in this right here, I just corrected the chat, because they said that we said GMS says that the Northern Army is talking about Russia, so I corrected them. Let me show you the correction in case you didn't see the other video. They kept saying that we said it is Russia. Okay, what's the Israelite take on Joel? That's if I can find it. Okay, right here. I said it right here. I said, no, you're wrong. GMS teaches that the Northern Army is America. So they changed it up right when I put this comment in. You're right to correct that. Within GMS, especially the Northern Army in Joel 2 verse 20 is taught as America, not Russia. Thanks for calling that out. So they completely changed the whole thing. Anyway, let me go ahead and ask this question. I'll do it this way. Let me do it this way. Is NATO and the EU the fulfillment fulfillment of revelation 17:16. So let's see what they say. Okay, I just put it in general. I didn't want what GMS view was at this point. Short answer, according to GMS, yes, NATO and EU are central to the fulfillment of Revelation 17:16, but it's important to explain how and why they say that, because it's a prophetic betrayal model, not a simple EU bad reading. So that's the scripture right there. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh with fire, and burn her with fire. GMS framework, step by step. Who are American Babylon the Great, and GMS teaching Babylon the Great. The United States, America is the economic, military, and cultural center of the beast system. She rides the beast by dominating global trade, finance, and warfare. This is straight GMS orthodoxy. Yeah, it's dogma, you know. We say it is, and it is. The beast, the Western power structure, the beast is not one nation. The post-World War II Western imperial system, military, economic, and political alliances within the system, NATO, the EU, are seen as major organs of the beast. The 10 horns, allied powers under the beast. GMS does not rigidly count 10 modern countries. Instead, they teach 10 completeness, fullness of power. The horns are America's allies in satellite nations. This includes EU member states, NATO partners, Western allied, when I say Western, is Western allied, west of Europe, Western Europe, as opposed to Eastern Europe, which is Russia to the uttermost east. Industrial powers, they shall hate the whore, alliance, collapse. That is a key GMS point. America's allies will turn against her. The same nations that benefited from U.S. dominance will, that's Obadiah 1:7, resent her control, reject her leadership, ultimately participate in her destruction. This hatred manifests as political betrayal, economic abandonment, military confrontation. Burn her with fire, nuclear destruction. GMS is very literal here. They teach the fire, thermonuclear missiles. NATO EU nations will be involved directly or indirectly. Some launch, some allow launches, some stand down and let it happen. This aligns in GMS teaching with Isaiah 47, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, Revelation 18. Important notes in GMS teaching. GMS does not say NATO, EU are righteous or that they escape judgment. Well, in a way they do. They're not going to be hit with missiles. They are instruments used temporarily after Babylon's destruction. All nations are judged immediately. The beast system itself is destroyed. Right, because they're going to go into slavery. This is not going to be the end of NATO and the EU. They're just going to be working in the fields, wherever we want them to work. One sentence GMS summary: NATO and the EU are part of the beast who member states eventually turn on America, Babylon, fulfilling Revelation 17:16 by betraying, stripping, and helping destroy her with nuclear fire. And that's all I'm going to read on that. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.